This video is brought to you by CSGO Empire, today's leading site for fun CSGO gambling and entertainment. It's one of the safest and most convenient places to play. You deposit your skins and place bets on which of these 3 coins you think will win, build up your numbers, and withdraw much better skins than you started with. Check out the link in the description below for more details and use our code GUIDES to get 50 cents for free. Without a doubt, most players who only play CSGO on the surface level without delving into it too much have never experienced a hostage map besides maybe some playtime on certain operation maps. It's definitely an underused and underappreciated game mode that many mappers don't even care to venture towards when creating new maps. This is unfortunate because in our eyes, it's at least a super fun and good change of pace compared to the diffuse mission maps, which are pretty straightforward and can honestly get repetitive at times. Today, we're delving into the history of this game mode and what makes it so unique in the game series. We'll also go over why it's not played or appreciated nearly as much as it should be, as well as if you want, we're going to go over a couple really good maps to try out when testing this game mode for yourself to see if it's something that you enjoy. First things first, let's get to the history of hostage maps. Like all other play aspects of the CS franchise, the hostage scenario game type has seen many changes and facelifts since its past iterations in Counter-Strike. One of the biggest changes is how the rounds were won for each team. It was actually much harder to coordinate and win as a CT team back in the day in games before CSGO. This is because instead of having to only transport one hostage back to your spawn safely, you had to rescue at least half of the hostages and make sure that there are no remaining living or unrescued hostages before time runs out. This means that some maps had more than 2 hostages at a time, which definitely changed the dynamic of how games were played in these older titles. The terrorist had to stay alive or run down time to 0 before the CT safely brought back over half of the hostages, and the game mode itself already kind of favors camping as a legitimate strategy for T sides. And with there being a tougher challenge to CTs on older titles, it only demanded for the need of camping even more. As frustrating as it is, it won rounds for the Ts, so you would see it quite a lot more back then. In all CS games, the terrorist team could also win the round by killing all of the counter-terrorists, which is pretty straightforward as that is canon with about every game mode that exists in shooting games nowadays. The map design has stayed pretty straightforward as well, as the game mode itself kind of favors a 3-lane setup like something you would see in a game like League of Legends. This is so that the CTs are always on their toes when heading towards hostages, as well as leaving Ts on guard when trying to stop CTs in their tracks once they pick up the hostages. Secondly, we're going to discuss why you don't see hostage maps played competitively. You may be asking yourself, why haven't I seen any of these hostage maps being played on a major or even at a LAN for that matter? And that's for one simple reason. The hostage game mode as it stands today is just not competitively viable. There's a pretty low skill ceiling when it comes to the strategy and gameplay, and this is for quite a few reasons. Firstly, the site design. The hostage game mode doesn't really have sites per se, instead usually close quarter rooms in which the hostages are being held. This limits the ability of the CTs to really devise strats and execute on these rooms with strategic molotovs and smokes. Taking a room is more about blunt force and luck in many situations. This lowers the skill ceiling greatly, as well as just makes it plain old boring, repetitive gameplay. Even if pros were able to try this game mode in majors and devise strats, it would no doubt get old after the randomness that ensues in this game mode unfolds round after round, and the hope of strategic play goes out the window. Another reason hostage maps aren't competitively viable at the moment is because they see relatively no huge changes. With the exception of the recent militia overhaul by Valve, all basic hostage maps have pretty much remained untouched since the release of CSGO. Nobody really plays them, so Valve doesn't really feel inclined to update them as much as their more popular defusal maps. This riddles these maps with bugs that have been found over the years that experienced players can abuse without punishment. There are so many random pixel walks and boost spots that were unintended by the map makers on these maps that still exist to this very day. Because of the repetitive glitchy gameplay they can offer at times, hostage maps just won't do for competitive play, especially not in pro leagues. Third, here are some really fun maps to try out in this game mode if you haven't yet. The first map we want to highlight today is perhaps the most OG hostage map in CSGO, CS Office. CS Office has seen quite a few different iterations in Counter-Strike, and its version in CSGO is absolutely a blast to play. Its tight and narrow halls offer super fast-paced, exciting rounds. If you and your team want good coordination, you can absolutely dominate on CT side. The mini rooms offer huge opportunities for those that want to land nice grenades and mollies. And if you can push to the hostages, you are usually able to demolish the Ts before you even have to pick up a hostage. Another map you should definitely try is Agency. It's a returning map from an older operation that has shown its face again in the brand new Operation Hydra. It's a wonderfully made map that is not only aesthetically pleasing, but pretty good to play on a competitive level. The open floor plan in mid and outside lanes offers great opportunities for advanced team plays that you can't can't usually achieve in other hostage maps. It's probably the most balanced hostage map that exists right now, and hopefully even after the operation it will still be playable. Unfortunately, Valve seems to not keep maps around even when they are loved by the community. And finally, here are some changes that can be made to hostage situation maps to make them more popular. As mentioned before, map design is a huge part in affecting how people perceive the hostage game mode. If map makers could open up the spaces in which hostages are held and design them a little bit more openly like bomb sites, team play could be greatly improved and the skill ceiling could be opened up quite a bit as well. Another change that could be made is going back to the older style of completion for rounds. So that means including more hostages on the map and requiring the counter-terrorist to take back more than half of them safely, instead of just needing to bring back one. This would increase the pressure of the counter-terrorist team to focus on frags as well as the objective. As right now the game mode stands, CTs can win a round easily just by being lucky and going to the one hostage that isn't being watched well enough. I've seen rounds won with only one death in the past, and that's not balanced, nor is it fun to watch as a spectator. If these changes could be made, it would definitely open up the hostage game mode to a wider audience, and perhaps more people would show interest in it. For now though, it shall remain the forgotten game mode of Counter-Strike. This video was brought to you by CSGO Empire, today's leading site for fun CSGO gambling and entertainment. It's one of the safest and most convenient places to play. Deposit your skins and place bets on which of these 3 coins you think will win, build up your numbers, and withdraw something much better than you started with. Check out the link in the description below and use our code GUIDES to start out with 50 cents for free. Thanks for sticking around on this one, guys. It was a blast as always. If your guys' favorite hostage map wasn't mentioned in this video, comment it below. My name is Brayden and you're watching Valve Guides.